What's up guys, ShinyHunterDestroyer here and welcome back to a brand new Pokemon Journeys anime discussion video. Today we'll be talking about episode 75, which is titled Cresselia, A Midsummer Night's Light. Why am I pretty excited to talk about this episode today? Well, it made me cry, okay? Back from where we left off from last episode, Cresselia is hurt and Dawn and Chloe are trying to help. They try to talk to Cresselia, but it looks to be of no use, until Chloe remembered what her dad said about understanding Pokemon. As Chloe takes a step forward, she's able to get closer to Cresselia and comfort it. Dawn uses healing herbs on Cresselia while they talk about the possibilities of things happening to Cresselia, such as Darkrai attacking it. Chloe talks about the interview she saw when she first was introduced to contests. When Chloe hears that the person in that interview was Dawn's mom, she was amazed. She learned here Dawn was following that same dream her mom had. Chloe, on the other hand, talked about how she didn't like being compared to her dad and how Eevee helped her make her decision to keep on exploring. Dawn and Chloe continue this conversation, talking about growth and the future. Dawn gives Chloe a little taste of contests, dressing up and everything. After seeing Dawn do it, Chloe and Eevee give it a try and kind of do it too, but then Eevee faceplants, which, wasn't the plan. After this, they head to bed while next to Cresselia, where they would be having a dream that looked black and white, where people would fall over, having bad dreams in their sleep. Come Darkrai, who was causing all of this, Cresselia appears and stops the bad dreams with everyone waking up. Darkrai wanders off, and after that, Chloe and Dawn wake up as well. Dawn and Chloe had the same dream as each other, and soon they figure out Cresselia had that dream too. Okay, let's get to Ash and Go for a bit. They soon encounter Darkrai and tell it about the nightmares, but after being told to stop it, Darkrai flees from them. And that's it from Ash and Go for now. Darkrai loses Ash and Go and finds Cresselia with both Chloe and Dawn there. Chloe points out that Darkrai looks lonely, and they also see that Cresselia didn't want them to fight Darkrai. Team Rocket appears, but don't really do too much except provide a good smoke screen to get away. They get to the shoreline and two figures start to walk towards them from the forest. Those two figures were not Team Rocket, but instead Ash and Go. They have a chat amongst each other, and though not too much, Ash and Dawn reconnected for a bit, but they start talking about what each group is doing in the area. Ash and Go with Darkrai and Chloe and Dawn to the contest, but then they encountered Cresselia. As they theorized what happened to Cresselia, the answer became clear as a blimp flew above them. Down comes a group of Team Rocket grunts and Matori. The gang fights to protect Cresselia, but they are pushed back by Matori's squad. Perfect timing though, Darkrai appears and knocks down Matori's squad until Matori activates an electroshocker on the blimp, knocking Darkrai down. Then, right when chances seem slim, Cresselia starts to glow and uses Lunar Dance to recover Darkrai. Darkrai finishes the rest off, leaving Darkrai victorious. Cresselia, after fainting, gets back up and Darkrai clears the skies to let the moon shine upon Cresselia. The two Pokemon then fly away back to where they came from. What was first thought, Darkrai and Cresselia being enemies? No, that's not it. Chloe explains it well, Darkrai being alone and Cresselia wanting to be there for Darkrai, and that's why they live where they do. The next day, Chloe, Dawn, Go, and Ash are having fun at the beach, with Chloe laying and calling her dad, who has finally hatched the eggs, and apparently 20 or whatever amounts of Piplups want to hatch, so they have penguins now. But with everyone having fun in the water, just having the time of their lives, this episode, this 2-episode arc, comes to an end. Do I have some things to talk about for this episode? Okay, not much. I mean, I have some positive things about this episode, but I also have some not so positive things about this episode. I mean, it's another episode that made me cry, so I can't give it less than a, oh my gosh, I love it rating, but like, there are some things that this episode could have done a lot better on. But I always try to talk positive about these episodes whenever I'm like this, so that's what I'm gonna do. And first off, I want to talk about something I don't really have much experience in, continuity. And it was nice to see continuity in many aspects. I mean, the highlight of that for me is being able to get mentions of Brock like twice this episode. I thought that was pretty cool. It was a nice nod to older viewers. Okay, now that I have the obligatory continuity talk because Brock was there out of the way, let's talk Darkrai and Cresselia, the two Pokemon that I did not expect to make me cry, but they did, and part of that goes with the storytelling of the two Pokemon this episode. The story was told wonderfully because we were understanding the full picture with characters following along as well, and with Chloe pointing the main bits out, those bits and pieces get put together at the end and make a powerful scene for Cresselia and Darkrai. The story being explained while they fly back to where they came from really did it for me. I just found those last parts with Cresselia and Darkrai beautiful because of that storytelling and the way everything unfolds, and it paints an emotional picture to look upon. And this even starts at first when they met Cresselia, with Dawn telling Chloe about Lunar Dance, the move that we saw Cresselia use to heal Darkrai. Small things like this makes things later in the episode just a little bit more special. And of course, it makes Chloe's inclusion in this whole part a whole lot more special too, because she was able to discover a lot about herself, and Go kind of noticed it too, and Go complimented her about her explanation on what was going on with Cresselia and Darkrai. Complimented her about understanding how those Pokemon feel. Her first bigger understanding of herself came in that form, with Pokemon, and how she enjoys understanding Pokemon, thinking back to what her dad said before she left. She's getting more of herself, and that's the goal. But not only that, she got her first dip into something else new. Pokemon contests, and seeing her enjoy that with Eevee was really nice. And you know, even though it was not as much as I would like to see, maybe this part can be revisited in a later episode when they go back to Sinnoh. Eevee and Chloe can remember back to this time with Dawn and actually try it out themselves. That's all assuming that they didn't go to the contest, and I mean, I assume that they didn't, since they were all just having fun together and they all enjoyed that. So I really hope contests get revisited now, and I was on the coordinator really train before this arc, but now I can see some potential from it. Maybe when Chloe's in another panic, Eevee can remind her about contests and they can try that again. I did not think this is where I was gonna be on the whole coordinator thing, I'm gonna be honest, but it's something new that I can look forward to, and I'm always happy for that. Little side note about Chloe, I love how Chloe is able to tell multiple people about her struggles with figuring herself out with Eevee alongside her. She talks about this to Dawn. It shows that she accepts that some things like this take some time. Before, she didn't really say things like this, and the first time we saw it was when she was talking with her mom. Even herself explains the importance of Eevee because she learned that nothing needed rushing. That it would be okay to try new things and take her time. It's a good sense of growth there. I'll talk a little about Dawn here. Even though it wasn't much, I'm happy we got a little touch of Dawn performing. Should there have been more? Like I said, it would have been nice, but I'm not mad at all that this is all we got, because it still introduced the idea to Chloe, and that's the important thing. With Chloe being with Dawn, it's good inspiration. But after everything I just said, there are some things about this episode that still felt, unfinished to me. Ash and Dawn's reunion, first off, I mean, we didn't really get a big reunion with them. I mean, we did, but it was decent at best, because afterwards we just jumped right back to Cresselia and Darkrai, which, I mean, yeah, of course, in the moment that had to be the most important bit, but then? Why make them meet then? Dawn and Chloe had their bonding moments last episode, and I mean, this episode they still had heartwarming moments, and I love it, and those moments I prefer over Ash and Dawn, but I don't know, it just feels like they left the reunion on the table. I mean, we got the end scene at the beach, but it feels like a shoe-in to show they had fun and stuff. I want to see more than that, since it's such a special occasion. I get that it can be hard, but it's just a little bothersome to me. They acknowledged it, but we didn't get much out of it. That's basically what I'm trying to point out right now. But even after that, this episode still had good aspects. Kudos to the Matori battle scene that was animated just beautifully, and when I saw it, I was just in shock. I loved that bit. The music in the last Cresselia and Darkrai scene helped contribute to my tears, and best of all, we still got the most important part of everything. Professor Cerise. Okay, I just wanted to talk about the egg again and it hatching into Piplups, and I want to talk about who in the world are these Piplups going to? I mean, we have so many options here. I mean, Chloe can use a new Pokemon. Heck, maybe Ash wants a Piplup. That would be kind of cool. I mean, it would be interesting because Dawn already has one and she's like the Piplup person. But you know, what if? And of course, Go has to get one, and they're going to Professor Rowan. Guys, they might be low on penguins. Give them to Professor Okay, maybe Go might get one, but I feel they can be given to Professor or maybe Professor Cerise could enjoy researching a whole bunch of Piplups. You never know. But yes, overall, this episode was a decent way to end off this 2-episode arc and showed us a lot of what people loved about Dawn before and threw that Chloe's way, because Chloe, you only deserve the best, right? Seeing Chloe's development in the last 2 episodes was really great, and this episode, it was amazing to watch her discover more about what she can do with Pokemon. Though some aspects of the episode were left to be desired, some bits in animation were just spot on, and the egg, guys. The egg. This episode gets a good in my book. And I mean, it's hard to get a bad in my book if it's a dedicated arc, especially if it's a dedicated arc in Journey, so kudos. And with that, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to the members over the last few months. I appreciate all of y'all's support. Have a nice day, guys. Peace out.